Excellent. We are live. Hello, everyone who is watching us now or later. It's lovely to see you. I am joining you from DC today. I am visiting with my cousins, so a little bit different for me. Anyway, welcome and thanks for joining us. My name is Magda and I'm the CEO of Cocharia. And with me today is Cindy, who wears many hats at Cocharia, but what she will be talking to us today about is coaching mastery. And coaching mastery is something that we care a lot about at Cocharia because we think that all coaches that start training with us can become master coaches. So, and Cindy is one of the big reasons why that is possible. And she also is the person who actually trains coaches and mentors coaches to mastery. So she works with coaches of all levels, but she's a mastery expert. So what's going to happen today is just a quicker than our regular webinars chat. And I will be asking Cindy some questions. If you have any questions, please add them in comments. If all goes well, I should be seeing comments on my screen. If by some chance I miss a comment, I apologize already, and I will be sending you answers privately if I miss it. But yes, the session is being recorded. We will definitely put it up on the channel, the YouTube channel, once it is over. So if you are here but need to run, that's okay too. We're still going to record. So I will stop talking and I will mute myself and invite Cindy to introduce herself and tell us a little bit about her background and, yeah, her life as a coach. Cindy?
Thank you, Magda. And with an introduction like that, I do indeed feel masterful. So, hi, everyone. Lovely to connect with all of you. A bit about myself. I love all things coaching. So, I trained in 2005 as a coach, and my first round of training was in neuroscience. And currently, I coach, I train, I mentor, program director. I love assessing. I'm involved in the ICF South African chapter, doing my PhD in coaching. So I love all things coaching. And in a systemic flow, things that partner with coaching. And I love connecting with people. My most value comes out of mentoring. I mean, the thing I love most is mentoring, of course. And most of my value comes in, or my growth and learning comes in listening to other coaches and how they are engaging with a particular marker or core competency and helping them develop it further. And in the process, I get better at what I do too. I'm also Cocharia's program director and engage with most of our students within that capacity. And I run our mentoring program and evaluation at PCC level. What else can I say? Magda, what else can I say about myself and my love for coaching?
I don't know. You're like a spokesperson for coaching.
Yeah, I feel like that way. I do.
So that's okay. We can just jump right into it. And as we go, if you want to share some personal anecdotes of your own journey, please feel free. But without further ado, we'll jump into our questions. So let's start high level. What is coaching mastery?
So every coach goes through a continuum of learning and skill development and practice, right? You practice a particular skill and you get better at it and you go and apply it in your clients or with peers, and you just notice you're getting better at it and better over time. So begin the beginner coach and progressing through a intermediate coach, or you can call it your PCC coach. And the more you coach then and just get better at what you do, you move on to the role of masterful coaching. So there is this process of development through beginner to masterful. And I think the most value you get out of that is in the application of it with clients. You know, the more you learn, the more you work with clients, and you begin to notice this kind of deep, meaningful, lasting change in other people. And you get quite delighted with these moments where you notice people are really changing, you know, with your coaching or with the coaching process. And there's something more happening in their life. There's more meaning, more change, more results, more. The life has become expansive. And you begin to notice also the potential and the greatness showing up in your client. So the essence of mastery is working with clients in a space that looks at the totality of the client and how I, as the coach, will partner with the totality of the client that's showing up. Oh, maybe I should say something about what I'm really curious, really in love with. So the thing that keeps me on this journey of becoming or staying masterful and becoming better and better, it's not all times that I feel masterful at what I do. There are some times I notice something about a particular skill, and then I'll go in the background. So noticing that something is more a curiosity. And I'm really quite intrigued and in love with this curiosity. So if I notice something and I want to check it out, I got to immediately after a session do some work on it. And normally that involves sitting down quietly and reflecting, just some introspect. And then I begin to notice little pieces begin to link together and connect about perhaps a coach said something last week or further down the line, and I will notice it and connect it all together. And my own neural pathways begin to grow and develop. And so in that process, I feel like a beginner. And there's one day that I would go, wow, I'm really good at this. And maybe 2 weeks later, I discovered something and I go, now I feel like a beginner in learning again. So I think this whole thing about masterful is also how open we are to learning. And the space we create for ourselves in deliberate practice, meaning I'm deliberately practicing a particular skill until I get better at it and better at it. And how do I know I'm getting better at it? Because I would do some application around it, meaning the next time I coach, I pay attention to that skill and check out how am I doing with that. So there shows up this level of, if you want to call it, unconscious competence. But it doesn't always feel like competence, because some days you feel like, I could do better with this. And some days you feel like, I'm really good with this. Magda, did I say too much?
No, it sounds like the mastery is really, it feels like an inward journey. And what I'm hearing is there's a lot of increased awareness that you have as a coach as a result. And that is awesome. But I'm wondering, in terms of also working with clients, clients who may not know anything about, you know, the hierarchies of PCC, MCC, the EMCC, etc. What are some specific things that a client would benefit from, that a coach, you know, especially in the process of getting the new client, that a coach can explain is the benefit of having, you know, a master coach versus a PCC coach? Are there any specific things you think people should be mentioning?
I think, Magda, is how we engage with the client in allowing them open spaciousness to tell their story, and in the way we ask questions, we as coaches ask questions or notice and share with the client. In that space that we inviting the client into, the client will begin to find more and more answers for themselves. It may not show up immediately, but it may show up slowly in a slow process through the way the coach partners with that client in the total space of the client, meaning noticing the client's thinking, feelings, or any emotions showing up, any kind of embodiment, you know, any body language showing up, and notice and explore that with the client, and around the energy and anything else that's showing up. So the coach would notice, if you want to call it, what's going on in the coaching relationship between coach and client, what's going on in the coaching process, and provide the space of spaciousness or openness for the client to discover and get excited about or motivated about what they are looking for from the session and how they are progressing for themselves. So master coach may do that in a more spacious way, more partnered, co-creative way. The partnership may be more present versus a beginner coach may still be, you know, figuring out many things for themselves. But I've noticed a lot of beginner coaches show signs of mastery that was already perhaps in themselves, like trust and presence. That person already had it in themselves before they started a coach journey. So it's difficult to play this, you know, on skill set. On skill set, you can compare the difference between a PCC and an MCC. But sometimes it's how the person shows up naturally, and in that way, you know, a beginner coach can show up masterful. I think that the master coach is also quite confident in knowing that they're showing up as a learner in the client's life. What does that mean? That means in the way they show up, in the way they ask questions or share or notice, observe, they do it with a space that they are a learner with an intent to learn more about this client and the who of the client. Who is this client and how are they interacting with the issue they bring to the table, the issue or the goal or outcomes they bring to the table. So you almost have this curiosity of a learner in showing up with the intent to learn more about the client.
So for all, let me just mute. So for all the coaches that may be watching who are thinking about coaching mastery, there are different milestones that potentially may make a coach think, oh, I should pursue this. And, you know, one of those is just having thousands of coaching hours, because the practical aspect of going to coaching mastery, there are some requirements. So for example, for ICF, there's a requirement of 2,500 coaching hours that someone must have completed. So that's, you know, kind of the practical easy one. But in addition to that, what are some some signs or some reasons that you think coaches may experience that should or could propel them to go, oh yeah, I think I should consider, getting my master credential this year?
I've seen this in coaches, so now I'm quite bold in saying it. I've seen this in many master coaches. And I listen to the language. And I would say a coach knows best that when they are ready for mastery. And what do I mean by that? You get this curiosity, you get this drawn or this engagement with this word MCC, and it doesn't go away. And no matter how you convince yourself, it's not for me, I don't need to do that, it stays with you. This MCC stays with you, and it becomes like a longing inside you. I want to do my MCC. And it's also the highest level of credentialing, right? With ICF, it is the highest level of credentialing. Of course, we have it in us to want to achieve that. We want to know that our coaching can get to that skill level. Hence, we have this kind of drawnness towards it. So if you are the coach who's keep thinking about MCC and then telling yourself, no, not now, but it doesn't go away. Inside of you, it's still there. Then it's your time. It's your time to step forward and do the homework around who can I do mastery with? Do some homework for yourself and then figure out what's landing best for you. Which coaching program or mentoring program is sitting best for you. But take that step. Go ahead and do the homework for yourself instead of playing that game with yourself. Not now, not now. Go ahead and do it. We've seen many in our coaches in our mastery programs, when they tell their story, they share the similar thing about how they waited and waited and waited. And many say, I should have done it last year. Or, this is really cool. I should have done it a long time ago because I feel so different. Because mastery is this personal journey, showing up with a professional accreditation. But largely, some things change inside you. Even the way you engage with clients, you begin to notice things changing inside you. Internal, outside ripple effect. So first and foremost, a coach knows when they're ready for MCC. And if you are the coach listening to us now, then take some actions for yourself. Figure out which coach training program would work for you. There are many times when I've asked coaches, why don't you take a moment or a few moments, make yourself your favorite drink, tea, coffee, what it is, and give yourself some quiet reflection time. And if you have to, write down some things for yourself around when you want to start this journey and what's the significance and meaning for you. Then the step after that is not to sit with it, but to take some actions around registering for a mastery program or MCC mentoring, and then go ahead and walk that journey.
So speaking of programs, that's why we're here as well, to talk about what Coach Arya has to offer. And it's funny because so I've been with Coach Arya, this is my fourth cycle of mastery intakes that I've been a part of. And it's changed every single time because every single time there's a cohort, we learn something new and we evolve and we adapt so that it's as good value to our learners as possible. So again, this year, things are a little different than they were last year, but that's super exciting. So I will ask you in a second about the specifics of the mastery program, but I just wanted to quickly outline in terms of the training that's actually required by ICF. Let's stick to ICF because it's a good benchmark. ICF requires 75 hours of coach training in addition to whatever you've done to your PCC in order for you to apply for your MCC. So you have to have your PCC credential already, and then you have to have additional 75 hours of coach training. So in past, what Coach Arya has done is we did a 75-hour program, which was great, but we thought that it'll be nice to give coaches a bit more flexibility. So this year, what we've done is coaches who want to do 75 hours total of classroom are more than welcome to do that. 30 of those hours will be with Cindy, and she'll talk about that in a second. And then the additional 30 hours you can complete through electives that we have to offer. So we'll be offering electives. There's one with Cindy on leadership. There'll be one on ontology. There's team coaching. There's group coaching. If you can think of what we're going to offer it, but those are the ones that we're going to be starting with. So as a coach who needs 75 hours, what you could do is take an elective class with Coach Arya, and then take the mastery with Cindy, and off you go, you'll have your certificate. But another option that you can also do is just stick to the mastery with Cindy and then do additional work on your own. And this year, because of the pandemic, ICF is making life a little easier for everybody in terms of getting their credential requirements done. So there's this 50-50 approach that is allowed this year, where if you do additional work that amounts to the hours that are required, we as Coach Arya are able to evaluate that work and award you additional hours towards your certificate. And if I'm not making sense, email me and I'll explain it better, or just go to our website, coacharya.com/mastery, and you will see it there. But yeah, you have different options of how you can get your 75 hours with us through self-study or through taking coursework. So let's focus on the 30 hours mastery, which is what Cindy would be guiding you through if you join us. So Cindy, talk to us about, the 30 hours mastery program with Coach Arya. What will it be composed of? What can learners expect? All those good things.
Okay. So Magda, I'm going to say this slightly differently about the mastery program that we designed this year. Because the ACTP learner who's got PCC, and you're now moving, or you're looking for training hours and mentoring, you are in an excellent position, because what we are offering is 30 hours that's going to be dynamic mentoring that will take you to MCC. And it's robust, dynamic learning, skill development, application, quite a robust process that includes some content. But yes, where Coach Arya this year is different and quite generous in the offer to the PCC coach who's come out of an ACTP program, meaning you're now getting 30 hours of robust trainer-led work, right? And if you on your own in the background go and do a designed process of content, designed meaning we in the background have designed this for you, like, webinars and engaging with some of our content, you would get an extra. So beyond the 30 hours, you're getting extra training hours. That's for the coach who has left an ACTP program and looking for 75 hours of training. Now, if you're a coach who just, because the MCC is a portfolio exam, a portfolio credentialing process. So if you're a coach who's done your ACTP and you've collected some hours along the way, let's assume you've collected another 20 hours or something, and you now just need X amount of hours. You still, this program is quite generous in the bonus training hours afforded to you. Meaning you've got your 30 hours, nobody can take that away, and the 30 hours does not include your individual mentoring hours. That is something else. So you got more than enough mentoring hours for yourself. So if you're that student or if you're that coach who just needs, say you need 25 hours, in the background, you will get 25 training hours, content related. 30 hours plus the 20. That 20 is a bonus to you because all you're paying for is the 30 hours within the program. The same to the 75-hour students. The 30 hours is what you're paying for, and it's designed in a way that takes you to mastery, just like that. 75 hours of training or the 45 more is a bonus to you. So it's quite a generous program offered this year for many reasons that we decided to put this forth. Oh, let me talk about what you're getting in the program. You know, skill development is not alone, so we can't say we're just doing mentor coaching alone. There's always content attached to it. So there'll be enough content, there's group mentoring sessions, and enough practice, peer practice, meaning if we're doing working on a particular skill set, then there's practice. And come back and more skill set and practice, application of what you're learning. So there's content, there's robust group mentoring and individual mentoring session, and enough practice designed within the program. And of course, your bonus training hours that you're getting from Coach Arya.
Sorry, I was just correcting my mistake that I made in the chat. Our next program is starting February 22nd, not 2nd, because we don't have time travel yet. Working on it. All right, so we talked about what the program includes. We talked about the benefits that the coach as an individual and doing with mastery with Coach Arya. I think it'd be great to hear a bit more about the mentoring side of things and why mentoring is important and what happens in mentoring, because when I speak to prospects, that comes up a lot as a confusion area because it's a requirement, but every coach training institution talks about it differently. So can you, just give details of, what would happen in terms of like a mentoring engagement on this mastery program?
The group mentoring sessions is robust, dynamic conversations around your engagement with skill set. For example, if you take a particular marker or a particular core competency in discussion, like coach notices and explores energy shifts. There's a robust conversation around that, mainly because we got students from different coach training schools coming into our MCC program, and coaches engage differently around clients, diversity of clients within different contexts, different parts of the world, right? So of course they all are going to bring their points of view into the robust conversation I'm talking about around one particular marker or core competencies. And you begin to have this kind of collective wisdom in your group, right? You're sharing, you practicing what you are noticing, and you have this kind of collective wisdom around your learning space. So this happens within group sessions, and there'll be lots of practice, which means the application or your experience on clients, you bring it forth. And in your individual sessions, we'll be listening, or I as a mentor will be listening to your recording. And then, of course, asking you about how did you feel about that recording? How did it go for you? What skills you noticed you did well? What things would you like to improve on? What did you notice were opportunities that you missed and you would like to get better at? So we have conversations around that where from that client recording, you bring forth your learnings, your insights, and we'll talk about that. So ICF, of course, as mentoring is a requirement for credentialing because it is based on skill development. And remember, the word is mentor coaching. Mentor coaching, the combination of mentoring and asking some coaching type questions or sharing some things around coaching. Again, it's quite a rewarding conversation between mentor and coach, or mentee, if you want to call it. And quite partnered and co-creating, and for example, mentees get quite delighted when they discover they were missing something, and in this conversation with the mentor, they pick that up and go and start practicing it. They get quite pleased with themselves that they've now, something they were missing for quite some time, they now really become good at. And I've got to say this. If you let me talk about core competencies, I won't stop. So please ask your questions.
We'll do, and I totally understand. We'll talk about core competencies another time. And for those of you who are just maybe wondering, why Cindy is qualified to do this other than being awesome and amazing, many of you have interacted with us on our webinars. Many of you have interacted with Ram on our webinars too. And if I'm not mistaken, Cindy mentored Ram to mastery, which is pretty cool. Cindy mentored about, I want to say 52 coaches to mastery. Is that the correct count?
Over 100.
Oh
yeah, we won't name drop.
Okay. Well, I will. I'll do it for you. No, Cindy has mentored over 100 to mastery then, but about 50 or so through Coacharia. So Cindy is even more experienced than the amazing master coaches that Coacharia can and will boast about, because I'm very happy to name drop because I'm super proud of our community. So sorry, but not sorry. So Cindy, we will wrap this up, because we said half an hour, so I want to stick to to my promises. But if there's any other questions from the audience, please put those in now so I can ask them. And Cindy, I'll invite you to tell us anything that we have missed. But to me, the one thing that I want to ask you is, we say at Coacharia that we have mastery approach from day one. From the first day that you joined Coacharia, we already call you coaches. I've heard you refer to, welcome master coaches when you start a class, and people already get, a boost of happiness and energy when they hear that, because frequently that's the first time someone said that they're a coach to them, and already that gives you this positive feeling. But others kind of go, wait a minute, I don't know anything yet. And it's just really cool and uplifting to people to know that we have this belief in them that, yes, they can be master coaches. So I wanted to just ask you about that. Can anyone be a master coach truly? And why is that our approach at Coacharia?
Of course. We love that because we believe in the potential and the greatness of everyone coming through our programs. And yes, definitely, we will greet you as coach from the first day we engage with you. And Martha's right, all our MCCs in our program, our potential MCCs, we say, good morning, Master Coach, or hello, Master Coach, because we believe in that. It is only a matter of time. You're sitting in an MCC program, it's only a matter of time when you awarded MCC. Just a matter of skill development, progress, improvement, more skill development, until you get to that point where you yourself feel that inner confidence and now you apply. I've also got to say this, what makes our students stand out is is something, is a quality in Coach Arya that is quite, um, it's quite encouraging and illuminating when I look back and reflect at many of our students. And that is their ability to self coach, self, to do some reflection, introspect, their self accountability, self progress. For example, our students learn the art of assessing their own recordings very early in their coaching journey. Our master coaches do that quite well, which means there's a lot of meaning here. And one of the biggest one is you're building your mentoring muscles also. So, you're not just left with becoming a successful master coach, you're also building mentoring skills for yourself in beginning to noticing, assessing yourself. Um, Coach Arya does this introspect in many ways, through the East meets West blend, highlighting meditative practices, quietness, stillness, calm, self reflection, journaling, introspect. So, in all the quietness that we do, and the calmness and the silence, we have full trust that you always emerge, we always emerge better.
Thank you so much, Cindy. And thank you everyone who attended live, as well as those of you who are watching this later. Mastery is something that we're very passionate about and that we're very proud of. We're proud of all of our coaches. But this is the Mastery, chat. So have to give extra props to our master coaches, 50 of them so far, 52, I think. So thank you everyone for being here today. If you have any questions about coaching mastery at Coach Arya or about, anything, we're here. You can always email contact@coacharya.com, or you can go to our website and have a browse. And if you are ready to register for coaching mastery, just go to coacharya.com/mastery. There will be a link in wherever you are watching this. In the comments or in the description below this video. And get in touch with us. We'd love to have you be part of our fold, whether you are completely new to Coach Arya or if you are one of the coaches we've trained, a few years ago. Welcome and welcome back. Either way, stop by and say hello. So I think that's it for us today, Cindy. Thanks very much.
Yeah, and I want to say, feel free to chat to Ram or I. Contact the office and they will send the emails over to us. So feel free to chat to us. We're always available.
That's true. Excuse me, volume again. That's true across the board, by the way. So if anyone is watching this and you're not even credentialed yet and you have questions about your first credential, coacharya.com. Click on the chat button, click on the contact button. We are very open and transparent and love to chat maybe a little too much. But all of our trainers are available. So any questions whatsoever, please reach out. But until then, I'm going to say thank you and goodbye. And I will see you at our next webinar, which is Wednesday. Thanks for coming today.
Bye.